Get Newcastle United FC updates directly to your inbox. Plus subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Could not subscribe. Try again later. Invalid email. It was not a dream. Newcastle United fans. The Magpies really did win on Saturday. After 2 long months, Rafa Benitez's side produced a thrilling 3-2 victory over West Ham United at the London Stadium. It will not have escaped your attention that surprise selection Henri Saivet scored an excellent free kick just minutes after he gifted Marko Arnautovic a goal. Magpies supporters will also know that Mo Diame scored against his former side, that Christian Atsu grabbed a third, and that Andre Ayew pulled one back for the home side. They will also have seen that the Hammers were incorrectly awarded a penalty for a challenge which took place outside of the area, that Ayew stepped up to take the spot kick, and that Rob Elliot saved it. Image: Newcastle United. But there were plenty of others incidents in East London too, so here NUFC writer Chris Waugh takes you through the moments you might have missed from this timely victory for the Magpies. Rafa covers some serious ground. The London Stadium was built as an athletics venue and, given that it is in oval shape, the stands are a fair distance from the pitch. Yes, there may be retractable seating there, but the dugout is still a good 10 meters to 15 meters away from the technical area, while David Moyes remained by the side of the pitch almost throughout. Benitez walked back and forth, and must have covered some serious ground. Gale misses 2 golden opportunities. As excellent as Dwight Gale's all-round performance was, the forward will be disappointed he did not get his name onto the scoresheet. Gale rattled the crossbar in the 17th minute after a swift attack featuring Matt Ritchie and DeAndre Yedlin, and he then fired over from a similar position later in the first half. For a striker with Gale's finishing prowess, he will know he could, and should, have taken at least one of those chances. Offside confusion, and a delayed flag. In the 21st minute, West Ham pumped a long ball forward towards Arnautovic, who was standing in an offside position. Jamal Lascelles waited for the ball to drop, and then Arnautovic suddenly started harrying the Newcastle skipper. Lascelles hurriedly passed the ball back to Elliot, who sliced a clearance kick, before the linesman belatedly raised his flag. Ritchie is inches away. Newcastle have not had much luck in recent weeks, and that was highlighted when Ritchie could only find the inside of the post. Gale laid the ball back to the winger on the edge of the area, and he curled a delicious shot towards the far corner. If it had been literally 2 inches further to the right, then it would have been a goal. Elliot gets the nerves out of his system. By the time he was stood in front of Ayew awaiting the West Ham forward's penalty kick, Elliot had already made some good saves, and got a potential mistake out of his system. The Newcastle goalkeeper came to try and collect Aaron Cresswell's free kick, and, after initially claiming the ball, he then collided with Winston Reid and dropped it again. Elliot held his face and was adamant he was fouled, but the referee did not award anything. Thankfully, the Newcastle defense cleared the danger. Did Atsu pass a secret message to Elliot? Or was it all mind games? Atsu and Ayew are international teammates for Ghana, so it did not appear to be a coincidence that the former walked across to speak to Elliot just before the West Ham forward took his spot kick. What Atsu actually said to Elliot is anyone's guess, but perhaps the Newcastle winger's actions placed doubt in Ayew's mind, and that surely contributed to his poor penalty attempt. The loudest cheer of the afternoon is reserved for a penalty save. Well, maybe the celebrations when the full-time whistle blew were a little more raucous, but the away end erupted louder for Elliot's spot kick save than they did for any of Newcastle's 3 goals. The travelling Toon Army clearly recognized the importance of that stop in the context of the game. Had West Ham equalized, the momentum would have been back with the home side. Mbemba, the midfielder. Last season, This very correspondent asked Benitez whether he would contemplate playing Chancel Mbemba in midfield, given that this was where the Democratic Republic of Congo often utilized him. At that time, Benitez said he did not consider Mbemba as a midfielder, and that was while Newcastle were a championship team. However, given Jonjo Shelvey's suspension and the injuries to Isaac Hayden and Mikel Merino, and the fact Jack Colback is still in first-team exile, Mbemba came on in defensive midfield for the final 20 minutes of a Premier League game. Jubilant scenes in the away end. For just the second time in 25 months, the Newcastle away end were able to celebrate a Premier League victory. They were jubilant in the stands, and the celebrations will continue well into the Christmas weekend. Rafa and his captain walk off the pitch in deep discussion. After applauding the travelling supporters, Benitez walked off the pitch with his arm around Lascelles. The pair deep in discussion. They were able to celebrate a job well done, finally.